Good morning, everybody. We are in the Parashat of the Meraglim, the spies. One of the most famous Parashat in the Bible. We all know it. The people that went to look at Eretz Israel and they came back and talked badly on Eretz Israel. And we all know that still today we are paying for their sin. And we see in our Parasha, it looks like that God is sending them. And when you look in Sefer Dvarim, it looks like the idea comes from the people. We're not going into it now. We will not want to understand what is happening. How can it be that we see who are being sent? Let's look for a minute at the people that are being sent and the way it's written. So, in the beginning of the Parasha, it's written, 1 minute, וידבר השם משה לאמור, שלח לך, send people, ויתור את ארץ and they go into the country that I'm going to give to Bnei Israel, איש אחד למטה אבותיו. You take one guy from each one of the tribes, כל נשיא בהם, the presidents, like big shots, like tzaddikim. וישלח אותם משה, and God is sending Moses is sending them from the desert of Paran, על פי השם. God told him. And then, when we look at it, as we see the people, אלה שמות האנשים אשר שלח משה לתור לצאת וכל אשר שם וישלח אותם משה ותרת ויאמר אליהם עלו בנגב, and he tells them what to do, go here, go there, and those unbelievable people, tzaddikim, go into Eretz Israel, and you can't understand it. They come back and they talk badly on the country that God promised us. Eretz zavat chalav udvash. It's a promise, and by the way, it starts from Bereshit. On the first parsha in the Torah is talking about Eretz Israel. If you remember, Bereshit bara Elokim את השמיים, the creation of the world, says Rashi in the spot, Koach ma'asav yigid la'amo. God wants to show the whole world His power, that He, the country, the land is His, and He is going to give it to whom He wants. And we're not going to go into this discussion now, but they're talking about Eretz Israel. In other words, already in the beginning, Eretz Israel is being promised to Am Israel. Then to Avram Avinu, to Yitzchak, to Yaakov. Eretz Zavat Chalav Udvash, the best country in the world. And this, who is saying it? God Himself. So you go into the country, and you dare tell that the country is no good? How can it be? Two people get up and spoke. Kalev and Yefuneh is the one who spoke, and it says, 1 minute. Vayas Kalev et Aham. Kalev gets up and he says, shush, everybody. And he says, we have to go in. Yarashno ta ki achol nuchala. We can't do this. And then the people says, wow, how can we do this? Well, it's very interesting. How is it that Kalev is the one who is talking? And how is it that they let him talk? And here is a very interesting point. We talked about it in the past. Moshe Rabbeinu, when he sends the spies, is blessing Yoshua, but he's not blessing anybody else. So the reason is that he is afraid on Yoshua. By Yoshua, if you remember last Parasha, there were those two prophets, Eldad and Medad. The prophecy was that when Am Yisrael goes to Israel, Moshe Rabbeinu doesn't go in, he dies. So Moshe Rabbeinu thought, this is my favorite student, my favorite Talmid Chacham, and he, when he gets to Israel and he knows that this prophecy, he maybe will prevent or find something to prevent Am Yisrael to go into Eretz Israel in order to save his Rabbi, Moshe Rabbeinu. So he blessed him in a special blessing that he won't go and do this. Okay. But from the other side, why is he not blessing Kalev and Yefuneh? Why is he not blessing everybody? Everybody, sorry to say. Okay, so he's afraid because of this point. But then we have another thing. We see Kalev and Yefuneh goes and he asks and he prays to God on the graves of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov in Hebron. And the question is, what is the difference between Yoshua and Kalev? And this will also explain another point of view of why Moshe Rabbeinu, maybe he knows exactly he's a prophet. Lokam Be'kol B'Yisrael is the best prophet. Maybe he knows that something wrong is going to happen, so he blesses Yoshua bin Nun because of it. Why is he not blessing Kalev and Yefuneh? Because here were two ways of dealing with things. Yoshua bin Nun, he's the direct. He deals with it directly. He says, okay, I am against you. Now, if you go against a group of people, they might damage you, they might hurt you, they might kill you even. So this is why Moshe Rabbeinu gives Yoshua ben Nun a blessing. Why not to Kalev and Yefuneh? Kalev and Yefuneh, they thought he's one of them. He played the game. He, from the outside, was a part of the group. And then, when the time came, he got up and spoke. And why did he give him to? Why did they let him speak? Hey, why? Because they thought he's with them, and then they found out he's not with them. So here we have a problem of Yirat Shamayim. So you cannot save somebody. You can save from a physical problem, which Yoshua ben Nun had. But Kalev ben Nun didn't have this physical problem. He went with them, like from the outside. So there was no problem. And Yirat Shamayim, we're talking about it, there is no blessing for it. Kol bidei Shamayim, chutz miyirat Shamayim. Everything is from heaven, except Yirat Shamayim, the fear of God. This is our job. Anyway, this is the reason he's blessing Yoshua and he's not blessing Kalev. And here we have two ways of dealing with a certain situation. We have the direct way and we have the hidden way. Which is which? So when we look at the Parsha, we'll find something very interesting. Sometimes Kalev is first, and sometimes Yoshua is first, to tell us that both ways are good. Chafetz Chaim Zatzal, he says that sometimes you have to deal like Yoshua ben Nun, to confront the people, right, hey, this is wrong what you're doing. Sometimes you have to be clever and hide it and work from the inside, and then when the right time comes, then you go out and do whatever you want to. So in other words, you have to deal sometimes with the direct way and sometimes with the hidden way. But the thing is, both are good. It depends in what situation you are. Anyway, we want still to understand how is it that those great people go into Eretz Israel and talk badly on Eretz Israel. So here we have to understand something. Inside their mind, in the subconscious, they were afraid that they are going to lose their job. Why? Because till now in the desert, everything was spiritual. They got bread from heaven, that you could taste everything in it. They had the wail of Miriam with them. The clothes didn't tear. They had all those miracles going with them. It's what a spiritual world. And they were spiritual leaders. Now, when they go into Eretz Israel, everything is going to change. This is not anymore a spiritual leadership. It's a physical leadership. You have to work the land. You have to go work. And it's not going to come from heaven. It comes from heaven, but through ishtadlut, through your work. And it's a whole different world. They were afraid, deep side. They didn't think about it clearly, but it's what you call negi'ah ishit. They had a certain benefit, or they thought that they had a certain problem in the subconscious, that they're going to lose the job, and this is why they saw things in a different way. This is when we say, we have in the end of Parashat, story with the tzitzit, that is against the sin of the Meraglim. They went to tour the land, and they did wrong. And what is written in Mitzvah Tzitzit, Ve'lo tatur, you shouldn't tour after your heart and your eyes, which you desire. In other words, you לא תטו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם. But 1 minute. What is first? אחרי לבבכם. You don't go after your heart and not after your eyes. But 1 minute. We all know what we say. העין רואה והלב חומד. The eye sees and the heart desires. It doesn't go the other side away. If you don't see it, how will you desire it? So it's a very interesting point, because we say it every day. ולא תטורו is not written אחרי עיניכם ואחרי לבבכם, after your eyes and after your hearts, but opposite, after your hearts and then after your eyes. How can it be? But that's exactly the point. We see what we want to see. What we don't want to see, we don't see. Unfortunately, in life, is something that we desire in our heart, so we see it. But what we don't desire, we don't see. And this brings me to an interesting point. Years ago, we did an advertisement in the paper. We bring orthopedic chairs, very good chairs, the real thing. And anyway, we wanted to advertise it, so we advertise it in, like, I put a picture of a plane, and I saw לשבת במחלקה ראשונה, sit in the first, how do you say it? First מחלקה ראשונה, how do you say מחלקה ראשונה?